Hi everyone. Today let us discuss regarding Indian economy during reforms period, an analysis regarding the impact of these reforms on Indian economy. And this topic will help you to find out answers for the last few questions. I think how this policy affected agriculture, industry, and social justice and all. So after this class, you will get an idea regarding how to answer for these questions. Okay, don't waste your time. Let us discuss one by one. First of all, in this topic, we can also analyze in terms of the merits and demerits of this new economic policy also. So let us analyze one by one. So first of all, let us analyze that these new economic policy measures, privatization, globalization, and liberalization. Liberalization, privatization, and globalization, LPG. These policy measures were effective one aspect of the nation. The other side, it was more dangerous than the effectiveness of this one. So there are merits as well as demerits. When you evaluate the merits and demerits, when we are weighing this one, we can see that demerits are more than merits. Is it? That is why the critics, the people, those who are criticizing this new economic, they are saying that a country like India, not only a country like India, a country they are having the developing nature in their economic policies at all. Don't accept such policies. Don't accept. Anyway, don't waste our time for this one. First, let us analyze the reforms of this new economic reforms and its impact on agriculture. So when we see the agriculture sector, we know that around 70% of the total population directly as well as indirectly depending agriculture during that period. Now it is 63. The dependence on agriculture is coming down. Anyway, this dependence is that this agriculture provided their livelihood. Is it? But in that sector, when we implemented this new policy, it restricted many, as I told you yesterday regarding that one, it took out this industry, this new economic policy took out the autonomy of the policy making from our hand. Autonomy of policy making means our right, our freedom to prepare the policies for the betterment of agriculture. Instead of that, this agriculture sector totally spoiled, destroyed by these new policies, and these new policies have not been able to bring any benefit to the agriculture sector than demerits. Let us analyze one by one. First one is that this sector, this public investment in this sector decreased. So means agriculture sector, there was no such public investment. Public investment, we mean investment on infrastructure. Infrastructure means roads, bridges, irrigation facilities, market facilities. All these facilities, investment, government has been decreased. So means that government is not investing in this sector. Who will come to invest again? So that is a one impact. Agriculture sector, public investment came down. Second thing is that this during that Green Revolution period, we discussed about Green Revolution, a government was there behind the farmers to provide whatever the facilities required for them. During the time, government provide subsidies for the farmers in terms of their fertilizers, buying seeds and all. Means totally a support from the side of the government was there that time. But this new economic policy necessitated the withdrawal of government from the public sector. Means that subsidy, it has been removed. Means that subsidy is removed means that the cost of production will come up, will increase. So increase in cost of production means that the farmers, they are not able to survive in the sector. Either they will stop cultivation or they will commit suicide. So a large number of farmers, they committed suicide. We might have read in our newspapers that time regarding the impact of this policy on farmers. So cost of production also increased. They might have stopped cultivation or they might have escaped from there, because most of the farmers, they might have taken loan from the financial institutions, and their expectation is that after this harvesting we can give back the money back, or at least we can pay the interest and we can renew the loan. That also not possible that time. And next point is that next aspect is that regarding the reform sector and its impact, it is that the import duty on this commodity on agricultural products now decreased, because as I told you yesterday, all the tariff non-tariff barriers should be removed. But that was the instruction of WTO. WTO and what they are the initiative is that to promote this matter all over the world. All these people are working together in this regard. So reduction of import duty, we mean it should be kept as the protection for the domestic industries. That removed means that domestic industries protection might be taken back. And next point, I think it is that the removal of minimum support price, MSP. So you know that what is MSP? MSP, it is the amount of money or the price fixed by the government for upon a commodity, agricultural product, before the sowing of the seed or before the cultivation. Means that will ensure the farmer to sustain in agricultural sector. Means whether the price of the commodity is more than or less than the market price of the product, for government will offer the price and the farmer will get the price. Don't worry about the market situation, because market forces, demand and supply, will determine the price less than that one, but the government is liable to pay that money, that price for the farmer. So that's why most of the farmers, they continued in their production. Why? They are expecting the minimum support price, because that is a very supporting hand from the side of the government. But now in this regard, it was also removed the MSP. So that means that side also now taken back by the government. And next point is that it is the removal of all these quantitative restrictions, means quota system. So that means quota system is removed, means that there is no limitation. Any country can import commodity to any other countries, because all are the members of this NEP. They can bring the product and they can sell here. We cannot say no. That was the system. Quota, we kept the commodity from the foreign market, and there was some sort of support for the domestic producers. That also now is taken back. So that also quota system, removal of the quota system also provided a more big hit on the farmers again. And moreover, our government also compelled to change the production pattern from the food crops towards the cash crops. Why? The export promotion strategy or the export promotion policy of the government also been changed. Means instead of producing food crops, the farmers were compelled to produce cash crops. Same system was there during British period. They also compelled, after the Industrial Revolution, they also compelled the Indian farmers to cultivate cash crops instead of food crops. Definitely, the situation will bring shortage of food grains in the domestic market. And during that time, from the foreign countries, they will import food grains to the market. That is a policy. So anyway, they succeeded in this matter, and our sector also faced big problem in case of the food grains, shortage of food grains. And moreover, not only shortage of food grains, drinking water facility, poor drinking water facility was existed. Means everywhere people, they are drinking contaminated water. So health wise also it created a big issue in case of them. And one more point we can add in this matter is that the reforms in agriculture, it is that one, it is leads to the negligence of agricultural sector. Totally, this new economic policy neglected the agricultural sector. Every year, 2 to 3% reduction in case of this GDP. It shows that this sector slowly going down from lows to lows again and again. And agriculture sector is spoiled or declined or demolished, means there will be, its impact will be on industrial sector also, service sector also, because all these three sectors are interlinked or interrelated. How? Because industrial sector, they are depending agriculture basically for their raw materials. Is it? Almost all the raw materials collected from agricultural sector only. Mining and all. And the same way, supply of labor. This agricultural sector supplies labor towards the industrial sector as well as the tertiary sector. And in reverse, this agricultural sector they use the industrial products also, tractors, trillers, and threshers, etc. for this one. So means that there should be an interdependence, and moreover, this agricultural sector, industrial sector, both they are using the communication facilities of the tertiary sector. So without the interdependence of these three sectors, it is not possible to survive. These are the major drawbacks of these reforms on Indian agriculture. And some benefits are also there. Our products got more market in international market, more privilege, and spices also got more advantage. And these are also the positive side of this one. But positive side, it is very less only, but negative sides are more. Second aspect. Next question is that reforms in industrial sector, and what was the situation of industrial sector. Industrial sector also the situation was very poorer than the agricultural sector. So industrial sector we can analyze on the basis of 3 points. One is that the reforms in industry directly. Second one, the disinvestment movement and all. Third one is the policy of fiscal policy and the tax effects and all. So let us analyze one by one. First of all, directly we are moving directly to the industry. We can say that industrial sector recorded a big slowdown. Slowdown means decline. Why? What is the reason behind this slowdown? Slowdown may be because of many reasons. The first and foremost reason is that cheaper imports, cheap commodities from international market started coming to Indian market. Imports became very cheap. And the poor situation of infrastructure means there is no scope for future increase in the industrial sector. And moreover, all the doors of the Indian economy was open for all the countries of the world. So means they can come to the nation and they can sell their products, and there is no such kinds of restrictions were there. And definitely such kinds of everything is open for all means domestic people may have big competition. They have to compete with the international market and all. So definitely that will bring issues there. And infrastructure situation also not good means the power sector. Failure of the power sector means definitely industry will shift down from somewhere to somewhere else, because where they are getting good facilities and all. And all these are the problems. And one more thing is there, this removal of quotas, this quantitative barriers removed. That was not applicable for all countries of the world. Those are engaged in the business and trade and all. United States of America, they has not removed the quota system on the exports of goods, exports of two countries. One is from India, other one is from China. So all countries, even if they are requesting to remove the trade barriers domestically, but they are maintaining trade barriers and they are protecting their domestic industry by keeping these trade barriers. Also, there we can say, as I told you yesterday, partiality we can say. Yes, that was a partiality matter. These are the major points coming under the industrial sector reforms, I think. Next one, we are moving to the disinvestment. So as I told you, disinvestment we mean it is the selling of properties of public sector units to the private sector units. Partially, it's a partial privatization. It's not fully, partially privatization. And because of the selling of these properties of public sector units, government can accumulate some amount of money, and that money they can use for the development of that sector. That is the target. And in this sector, every year government keeps some target on this sale and all, and the government earns that money by the sale of the properties, and they are using for the development aspects and all. When we study, some figures are given in your textbook. I don't remember exactly the figures, but I still remember around the year 1990-91, around 2,500 crores of rupee was the target of the government from the sale of these public sector units, partial sale of this public. This means disinvestment to earn. But that time they were able to earn more than that, around 1,000 crore. Targeted amount was 2,500. The actual amount was 3,500. Means we were able to earn more than the target. But when we are coming to the stages after the 10 years of period, targeted amount was more, but the gain amount became less. I don't remember the exact figure. Around 50,000 we targeted, but we gained only 30,000. Means it is showing that big loss. What happened in this regard? this value of these public sector units, the asset value of the public sector units is being reduced, and that is sold in the market for a cheap rate, and the extra gain might be earned by someone else. Is it such a way? In this matter also manipulation happened there. That is a major reason in this regard of this. Anyway, these assets were sold out in the market for the private individual, and that also, but that also did not bring development in the country. What is the reason? Even if we are using that money for the development only, development will come. But the money is used for other purpose other than the developmental purpose. How can we assure development will come? No chance to get the developments. Is it? Even if the loans taken from international and IMF and IBRD also used for the modification of bungalows, buying new cars and all, instead of using for any developmental activities. So that is why disinvestment also not a solution to this crisis. So that also created big issues in the market. And the next aspect of this industrial matter is that the fiscal policy and taxation. As I told you, fiscal policy, it is the policy of government. In this one, many measures are there. There are basically 4 measures are there: taxation, public expenditure, deficit financing, and borrowing. These are the major fiscal policy measures that we'll discuss in our money and banking lesson in detail. For here, the taxation policy, government has been changed to 3 policies there. First one is that tax reduction. Government reduced the tax to earn more tax revenues from outside, but that was also not possible. Second one, tariff reduction. So we expected that by which we can impose a customs duty on the goods. That also flopped. And third one is that reverse. I think we give more tax incentives towards the foreign companies. So tax incentives for them means that tax redemption for 5 years, no need of paying any tax to the government. Only from this industry we are expecting some tax. That also removed. Is it? Such a way the matter, it is being manipulated, and that also created big issues in the economy also. Moreover, more than this tax policy, tax redemption or tax incentive or tariff reduction and all, this matter led again a concentration of these industries in urban areas. That's a common matter. Urban areas concentration rather than the village areas, because that is what happened. Most of these employment opportunities concentrated in cities, urban areas. There is no such employment opportunities in village areas. And second thing is that provided types of social issues, that is consumerism. People started consuming commodities instead of producing any goods. And finally, it led to a system of cultural erosion. The culture of the nation also went out from our hand. And there is no loyalty towards the family, towards the society. That matter became in that way. Such a way, this industrial policy and its related matters provided the negative impact in the economy. And next one is that what was the social justice and welfare side of this one? How it affected the welfare side of the nation. When we analyze that side also, we can see 3-4 main aspects in this regard. First one is that even if this policy it provided good support for the industrial people, yes, that's true. At the same time, it helped the nations to make the business as a monopoly for them. It brought monopoly nature in the industrial setup. So monopoly is coming in the economy. It shows that there should definitely, we can see inequality in the income distribution and in the society. Monopoly means money is accumulated in the hands of a few people only. Very rich people of the country, they are having the monopoly situation and all. Other poor people, they are lagging in this matter. That's the one point. Second point is that, second aspect is that the competitive market. Yes, it is bringing competition. Competition means those who are able to compete only they can do. As a country like India, how can we compete with what kind of commodity we can sell there? So that means that competition is good for those who are having the capability in the market. That also. And third one is that this continuous work of this one brought very unrest in the minds of the people. It created unrest. Means and they started conducting strike, staging dharna against the companies and all. There will be total social disorder. It started there in the nation and all. So monopoly, it created monopoly and competition, then social disorder, and this subsidy also reduced. So reduction in the subsidy also created big issues in the market, and removal of minimum support price also. That was only the solution for the people, agriculture people. Panacea, like we are seeing panacea for the agriculture people, that also taken back by the government. Means from this one, government slowly withdrawn from their effort, and it created a big group team into two, haves and have-nots. That is the first and foremost nature of capitalism. Rich and poor people. How can we say, considering the Human Development Index of two countries, whether they are accepted, they are working under this new economic policy, they are equal? So that is why this, how can we compare the people from India and the states of America, or how can we compare the people of Norway and Nigeria? Even if we are saying, okay, all are agreeing the new economic policy, their economic standards are poor, how can we agree this matter? It is totally inequality. So it's creating a group of haves and have-nots. Moreover, let us discuss one more aspect of this one. It increased the foreign direct investment and foreign institutional investment. That aside, we can say that these are the highlighted merits of this policy. Foreign direct investment and foreign institutional investment. This is a topic we discussed before, FDI and FII. Let us discuss what is the difference between these two. How can we distinguish these two concepts? In simple language, foreign direct investment, it is the investment by the foreigners, foreign individual, in any of the investment here, or they might have started an industry there, and they are earning the benefits from there. Means everything invest there means that industry is being started by a foreign company. It's like our Coca-Cola, Pepsi, McDonald's, KFC, Domino's. All these are the international companies. They are working in our country. Means they are controlling their business. They are earning the profits from there, and that should be as per the norms and regulations of the government. Okay, that is foreign direct investment. Means the individual, they themselves, the person, he himself, they are controlling the business. But when you are coming to foreign institutional investment, this FII, it is not giving any such kinds of ownership there. This is merely business in the share market. Means the foreign people, they are investing money in a share market. Shares or equities, they are buying from the share market, and they are keeping the share in their hand. This aspect is there in our balance of payment lesson. And current and capital account, different, when we are analyzing this aspect, we will analyze there. So means by this, any of this banking or non-banking institution, they are purchasing few amount of share equities from the market. That is, we are calling it as foreign institution investment. Means these people don't have any such kinds of control over the industry. Industry means those share, they are having the share in their hand. They don't have any such control. So all the controls of the industry will be with the industry only. These are the difference between FDI and FII. In this regard, foreign direct investment, yes, it increased. It's pretty clear. It was in millions. After this new economic policy, it became in billions. Foreign direct investment. At the same way, I don't remember the figure. Just read the textbook, then you will get the exact figure. So, aspect is that foreign direct investment was in millions during 90 and 91 period, but it became, after 10 years of period, it became in billions. Is it? The same way, foreign exchange reserve also increased. That also was in billion, but it was in single digits, I think, less than 10 billion, but that became around 3 digits figures. Means more than 200 or something increase. Means billions became more billions. Millions became billions. Means these are the major aspects of this one, foreign institutional investment and all. That was an advantage. And second thing is that we were exporting more goods from our country, engineering goods, spare parts, textiles. Cotton industry, it was very famous in European countries from our nation. That also, all these are the positive side of this one. At the same time, it's having negative side also. We have to analyze both and we have to find out the answers for our question in case of the reform impact of reforms in agriculture, industry and social welfare and social justice. Thank you for watching my class. Again, I am reminding you, this is now corona spreading season. Don't go outside. Stay in your house. Let us break the chain. Tomorrow I'll come with a new topic.